The next role is the system, or you can say application architect. So application architect is a role or technical manager role in the computer programming team who is specialized in application build and technologies used. So you can say the application architect is more towards one particular technology, one particular application area. The technology applications architect leverage technology to the streamline and smooth execution of organization business strategy. Application architects partners with the associate to build comprehensive system solutions, examine an existing framework, prepare for the needs for the future. So you can actually think of application architect as an architect who is working with the solution architect to deliver the project from that particular application side. So you can actually think of the solution architect coordinating or having an impact for their projects on say many applications or application domains. So there are application or systems architect helping solution architect to put forward their context, as well as they will go ahead and guide their teams to deliver from their application side or part of the whole project. So application architecture is a science of art. This is theoretical, but this talks really so let's talk about some theory. Application architecture is science and art of ensuring suite of applications being used by an organization to create composite architecture design app, a scalable, reliable, available, and manageable. So interoperability capability, um, performance and scalability, reliability and availability, application lifecycle stages, technical risk, number of instances, and not whatnot. So application architects talk about that particular application in all of these contexts. Understand the system process flow, primary business process. It gives clear picture of functionality map and application footprint of various applications across the map. Every organization has core set of applications that are used multiple divisions, either as a single instance or a different instance per division. Select solutions architecture template for all core applications so that all the projects have a common starting ground for designing and implementation. So as I said, they are domain slash application architect from a specific area, and they contribute to the project. Data and information architect. So this is another dimensions to the architect role, and they are more from the data, understanding the data. Let's look at the details. A data architect is a practitioner of a data architecture as an information technology discipline concerned with the designing, creating, deploying, and managing an organization data architecture. So it is always talk about data. So database, data warehouses, BI systems. Data architects define how the data is stored, consumed, integrated, managed by different data entities and IT systems, as well as any applications using or processing the data in the same way. So you can think of data architect is available for different applications. If they need data exchange between the applications, he can go ahead and contribute how the data can be exchanged between the application. In information technology, architecture is composed of model, policy, rules, standards that govern data is collected and how it is stored, arranged, integrated, and put to use in data systems in organization. Organize the data at a micro level. So these are roles. Organize the data at the micro level, data models for the new applications. Provide a logical data model as a standard for the golden source and for consuming applications to inherit. Provide a logical data model with the element and the business rule needed for the creation of data quality rules. The skills, foundation in systems development, depth in data modeling and database designing, breadth in establishing and emerging data technologies like big data and all other data, even data quality technologies, ability to conceive and portray the big data picture, ability to ability to astutely ability to astutely operate in the organization. technology architect, or you can say IT architect, is a responsible. So the next role is technology architect or IT architect. So he's responsible for technology architecture, which describe in the hardware, software, network infrastructure needed for the development of core mission critical applications. Have considerable depth in experience in all components technology landscape, including hardware, networking, industry, to align organization towards an enterprise guideline. So to understand technology architecture, who is to understand technology architect in more context, so the person who has understanding on the complete software landscape or the technology landscape in an organization, including hardware, including networking. This is the you can say the ADM cycle, application development cycle, and in which in the prelim phase you have a vision to you have some requirement or vision to define or to change something in organization, or that's the requirement for IT, and that's the architecture vision. It gets into business architecture. That's where the business processes are gaps are identified and put forward. For all those business gaps, information systems architect, actually, which is application and data architect, go ahead and put forward their gap analysis, and the solution for those. The technology architect actually then goes ahead and understand the gaps for all business architecture as well as data and application architects, and then identify the gaps if there are any, if they need to put forward additional hardware, if they need some other technology domains, if they need some application servers. So these um, architects identify those gaps to put forward RFP or kick off the project. So that's where the technology architect is. So once that is prepared, it gets into opportunity and solution. That's where ROI is calculated, and then it is pushed to the project execution. It once it is implemented, then architecture change management board looks at that and then approve the change. And it's not an approve the change; they monitor the change, and then again it gets into the loop gets into architecture vision for some other requirement. So this is the ADM cycle, application development cycle for TOGAP, uh, which is EA tool. I just wanted to highlight that to position technology architect or IT architect as a D. So let's talk about enterprise architects. So who are they? So we talked about different aspects from the technology side, from the the business side. But who are they? Who is actually defining the roadmap ahead? So the technology roadmap, so the business roadmaps. So who understand all of those? Who works with the CXOs or CIO organization to guide the organization to embrace the upcoming or emerging technology? What is best suitable for them in a future if it is not right now? So who actually guides the CXO or the complete organization, who creates the roadmap for the technology for the business capability? That's where you have the enterprise architect. So let's understand more details about enterprise architect. Enterprise architects are the practitioners of the enterprise architecture and architecture strategies management discipline that operates within an organization. Enterprise architects work with the stakeholders, both leadership and the SMEs, or and in this particular case, it could be application architects as well, to build a holistic view of organization strategy. And this is important. Strategy is important. Strategy, process, information, and information technology asset. The role of enterprise architect is to take this knowledge and ensure that the business and IT are aligned. So they create a strategy and the roadmap, as well as they create a principle, so that the solution architect or the application architect can go ahead and follow those. The enterprise architect links the business mission, business strategy, and processes of an organization to its IT strategy, and document this using multiple architectural model or views that shows how the current and the future needs in an organization will be met in an efficient, sustainable, agile, and adaptable manner. So they have to guide the IT organization how actually they can go ahead and align themselves to the business strategy, how actually business can go ahead and realize the business strategy from the IT. So they are bridge between IT and the business, but looking at from higher level perspective and guiding different project teams or different initiative in an organization. So alignment of IT strategy and planning with company business goal, optimization of information management through an understanding of evolving business needs and technology capabilities, strategy responsibility for the company IT system, promotion of shared infrastructure and application to reduce the cost, improve the information flow, ensure that the project do not duplicate functionality or diverge from each other and the business and IT strategies, work with the solution architects to provide consensus based on enterprise solution that is scalable, adaptable, and in synchronization with ever-changing business needs. Risk management of information and IT asset through appropriate standard and security policy. Direct and indirect involvement of development of policies, standards, and guidelines that direct the selection of development and implementation and use of information technology within the enterprise. Build employee knowledge and skill in a specific areas of expertise. So you can actually think of they are defining the principle for IT, and that IT, so those principles will be followed or added by the solution architects or the domain architects or application architects. So what are the traits for the enterprise architecture mindset? So you have system thinking, the ability to see how the parts interact with the whole as a big picture. Knowledge of business of which enterprise architecture is being developed. Comprehensive knowledge of hardware, software, application, system engineering. Knowledge of IT governance and operations. Knowledge of financial modeling as it pertains to IT investment. Interpersonal and leadership skills, servant leadership, collaboration, facilitation and negotiation skills, communication skills both written and spoken, ability to explain complex technical issues in way that the non-technical people may understand, project and program management planning, organization skills, customer service orientation, time management and prioritization. So all of these skills are very important. I think none of them is like less important here for enterprise architect role. For enterprise architect, there are different certifications in the market, and some of those are like one is the open group, which is TOGAP 9 certification. You can actually go ahead and look check for that on open group website. And there is another there is another certification which is Zachman, and in Zachman they talk about what are those artifacts, how actually they you can actually go ahead and identify those artifacts, looking at the different principles, different. And the other the certification for enterprise architect is a Zachman. You just go ahead and look for those on the YouTube or any other channels. Tools used in enterprise or the architecture side, though it is solution architect or application architect or enterprise architect. There is a tool called enterprise architect from Sparks, UML. You have Archimate, which is another tool which Open Group promotes, and this is used majorly by the enterprise architects. You have Microsoft Visio and PowerPoint. These are like you can say simple or example tools to move forward, but there are so many other tools used by different companies. Go ahead and check for that as well. That's it for this particular section. We will talk about the job roles in next section. Thank you very much.